Hello, this is Mike from Mike's Jazz and R&B Reviews. Thank you very much for clicking on the video. William Smokey Robinson is certainly one of the legends of R&B. He is known as having started out as the leader and lead singer of the Miracles, uh, which later became Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. This was a group at Motown, and also while at Motown, he played a key part in the development of that great musical company, working closely with his friend and cohort, the great Barry Gordy Jr. Now with the Miracles, Smokey and the Miracles had a number of hits during the '60s, and he was known for not only his smooth, creamy falsetto voice, but also his great songwriting ability. He was a very good songwriter, writing the words and the music to many of his songs. And for the Miracles, he wrote many memorable songs during the '60s, such as on the tracks of My Tears, Ooh Baby Baby, uh, Going to a Go-Go, and The Tears of a Clown. And during the early '70s, Smokey, I guess following in the footsteps of his fellow Motowner, Diana Ross, went out on his own and began a solo career. And during the 1970s, he produced a series of very wonderful albums, really good albums. And this continued into the 1980s and even into the 1990s. He was also, one of those albums from the mid 1970s was titled The Quiet Storm. And this served as the inspiration for a radio format that was very popular on many R&B radio stations. They would have programming a lot of times at night called The Quiet Storm, and this would involve the playing of very soft, mellow, romantic R&B music. And in other words, the kind of music that Smokey himself was known for. Smokey also was known for writing hit songs for other groups at Motown, in addition to the Miracles. For example, I think one of the most famous R&B or soul songs of the 1960s, The Temptations' My Girl, that was written by Smokey Robinson. And as a matter of fact, one of the early albums of the Temptations at Motown was titled The Temptations Sing Smokey. And he also wrote a companion tune to My Girl titled My Guy for another artist at Motown, Mary Wells. Now, having said all this, let me say the focus of this video is an album, one of my favorite albums by Smokey Robinson, an album that came out in 1978. The album was titled Love Breeze. And there are several songs on this album which I've always loved, which I think are just really good songs. I just so happens that one of them was not written by Smokey Robinson, but he sings it so well. So let's take let's take a look at some of those songs. The album has 8 tracks on it. Um, well, like I said, Love Breeze came out in 1978. It wasn't a monstrous. It wasn't a huge seller. I think the highest it got on the Billboard 200 charts was like number 75 or something. But let, let's talk about some of the songs on the album. Well, some of my favorites. Um, Track 3 is a song titled "Feeling You, Feeling Me." Now, this song was written by Jerry Butler, but Smokey does a wonderful job of singing it. This this song describes in a very dignified and way the an intimate relationship between a man and a woman. It's very mellow. I think a very touching song, and it's just a very beautiful song. So that's track 3. On track 4, now this was written by Smokey Robinson. It's a song titled "Madam X," and this is a song about a man who apparently is at a nightclub and he sees a woman. He doesn't know her, but he becomes obsessed with her. He's just as I guess he's stunned by her beauty, or he becomes attracted to her. He doesn't know her name, so he names her Madam X. There are a couple of lines in the song in which Smokey wrote, in which he says, "I I can't sleep with you. I can't sleep without you. All night long, I keep thinking about you, Madam X." Um, One of the things I like about this, especially toward the end of the song, it has some really sexy guitar work. That you hear this very, very sexy guitar, which is really nice. And Smokey, as usual, does a really nice job of doing the singing. Okay. Uh, track 7, and this is a superb song written by Smokey Robinson, a song titled "Daylight and Darkness." Superb song. What this song is about, this is a song about a man who's in a relationship with a woman who obviously has some severe mood swings. Well, sometimes I guess she can be the sweetest, nicest person. Therefore, that's daylight. And other times she can be cruel and mean. Oh, that's darkness. So therefore, the title of the song, "Daylight and Darkness," and the song discusses the way the, the effect this behavior is having on the man and his reaction to it. It's a really interesting song. It's a kind of a sad song. Once again, Smokey singing, and the background vocals are just very good. Uh, Now, track 2 is written by Smokey Robinson, um, a song titled "Love So Fine." What always stands out about this song to me is that this song has a very jazzy tinge to it. There are a lot of horns, and it's kind of up tempo. That's another thing. The, the songs that I just discussed are all kind of slow, mellow songs, But the album also has some up-tempo songs. Track two is like that. Track one, the first song on the album, is a song titled "Why You Want to See My Bad Side," and I'm not going to try to explain what that is about. I think you can guess or figure that out what Smokey's talking about in that one. And that one is kind of an up-tempo song. That's kind of that's you can tap your foot to. Um, Overall, this isn't a great album, but I think it's a highly enjoyable one, and it's always been one of my favorites, especially for those songs that I just discussed. Um, as usual, I do my rating on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest. I would give a Love Breeze. I think I give it a 4. I give it a 4. And once again, on Love Breeze, luckily, is available on YouTube, so or you can listen to it on YouTube. Okay, so I think that's it for this time. I thank you so very much for listening, and until the next time, this is Mike from Mike's Jazz and R&B Reviews.